Real quickly, guys, if you guys are looking for the biggest Forza Horizon 6 tandem Discord server, please join our UCXT Discord. We have everything from event lab creations, estates, to looking for lobbies. So if you're looking for people to drift with, go ahead and type in here if you need help with anything, or if you even need wheel settings. We have over 2,000 members, and we're growing very quickly. So if you guys want to get in on all the action, please join. And yeah. Alright, what's up, guys? It's Silva2K. Today's video is going to be on how to tandem in Forza Horizon 6. I got my buddy Anthony PZC over there drifting. He's going to be my little guinea pig today. Today we're going to be going over key topics that includes like what tunes you should be running, how to use the clutch and what it is used for, why brakes are tuned the way that they're tuned for tandem drifting, the positioning of the car in front of you, so like how to like chase and follow somebody, and talking about how to transition and what you can do to make your transitions more predictable. Today I'm going to be in the R33 for demonstrating all of the tips that I got for you, and Anthony's going to be in his chaser tune that he just made. Both of these tunes you can actually find if you type in UCXT into the description of when you're searching for a tune. I have so many tunes posted. I know Anthony has so many tunes posted, and a lot of UCXT members have tunes posted with the description UCXT. If you're trying to learn on how to tandem, or if you are kind of a beginner, I would highly suggest that you learn on those tunes before you create your own, because you don't want to start in a place where it's just setting you up for failure. I also have a YouTube video on how to tune for tandem. I'll have the link for that in the description if you would like to watch that video. So for this video, I got a wheel cam in the bottom middle of the screen, and what we're going to show you guys first is clutch. So if you see on the left side, this blue bar, like in the middle left side, that's going up and down, that is me pressing the clutch. Right now I'm going to show you a circumstance in which clutch is used for, and it is pulling the car back from spinning out. So if you're in a drift and you're getting too much angle, there's just no way for you to like save it without hitting clutch. Then you just stomp on the clutch with the gas pressed in like this, and it will pull your car back, and we'll do a demonstration of that right now.
To pull it back.
So right here I'll over angle, clutch kick, my car came back. Right here, a lot of angle, clutch kick, car came back. So obviously when you're on a tight section like crate section, which is on this map, you're going to be using the clutch a lot more, because we're running pretty high horsepower. Like I think mine has like 550, I know Ant has close to 700 and that thing sits heavier. But since we have so much horsepower, we're going to be needing to use the clutch a lot, because it's like tighter corners that require less RPM. So what you could do is clutch kick at the peak of a transition to like snap the car over. So like this. See how my car just snapped, and obviously my wheel made a loud noise, but that's just because it snapped over. Like that. So if you're on like a really tight corner, you got to transition really fast. I know it wasn't like the perfect circumstance right there, but there are circumstances where that is like neat. And it also helps with like transitioning faster than the person in front of you. So if you see the guy like starting his transition before you, you could just do a little clutch kick like that and catch up to him in a sense. So that's it for clutch. If you guys ever watched my how to tune drift cars video, when I talked about brakes, I have my brakes at 82% to the front. I'm running 18% force. I have it tuned this way, so when you hit the brakes, just the back end of your car comes out. It's not good for like coming to a stop, so obviously, like let's say I was driving, I'm holding the brakes full force. It just took me like 5 seconds to come to complete stop. It's a drift car, it's not meant for racing. So I have them tuned this way, so when you hit the brakes, your car doesn't stall. So in this case, if you ever see me tapping on my brake, it's either I'm getting too close to him and I don't want to like punch him into the wall, or I'm braking to add more angle since I tuned him to kick the rear end of the car out. So right here, I'm going to brake a little bit, slow down so he can transition, then transition right back onto his door. Right here, I know I'm getting close on the transition, a little bit of a brake, right back. And then brake to add more angle. I know it's a transition. Okay, so obviously when it comes to hitting the clutch and the brakes, this is a video game after all, and there's something called desync. Let's say, for example, when I was showing that clutch example, on my screen I'm just hitting the clutch and my car is like smooth, you know, but on Ant's screen, because of desync, it's like exaggerated. So my car will jolt. And if you're trying to get close proximity tandems and the person in front of you is jolting around, it's going to be very hard to follow and you're going to be smashing into him. But the same comes into play when you hit the brakes. So if you're hitting the brakes too much, like the person that's in front of you is hitting his brakes too much, it's going to be incredibly hard to follow and stay like onto his door. And I'll go ahead and give you an example right now of that. So Anthony now is going to give an example of what happens when the lead driver is hitting his brakes too much. So you try to keep it to a minimum, really. So look at his car like jolting around. Like that's making it hard to follow rather than just holding the gas, braking only when you need to. Obviously, if you're following, you could brake a bit more, but if you're in like a 3-man train and you're on the brakes a lot, the person behind you is going to be struggling, you know. Like look at his car right now. It looks like we're playing, and I don't even know. It looks like you're lagging. That's honestly what it looks like.
I was absolutely stomping my brake pedal.
I know you were. Yeah, so go ahead and throw down a lead run for us and just ride your brakes. Notice is going to go ahead and brake drift for us right now. And look at all these brake lights coming on. We're just hitting each other and looking very unstable. Not very fun. My God, my left foot is like aching. Oh, sorry. Wasn't expecting the brake drift. Oh my God! Oh man. How you doing in there, Ant?
Not bad, not bad. Brakes are on fire.
Yes. So that was a pretty.
So that was a good run.
That was a pretty prime example of what brake drifting looks like. You do not want to be that person. You don't want to be on your brakes the whole time. You just want to be steady pace. Use your brakes as little as possible when you're leading. When you're following, you could obviously use it a bit more. All right. Next up is positioning on the car in front of you. Obviously, I can ride high up on his door and just be like, "Oh, here, I'll give you an example right now." There's a lot of people that come out with clips on this game, and they're just riding the front fender of the car and getting as close as possible. So, for example, like this. Like, see how I'm on his front fender? But that makes transitioning hard. Where you want to be sitting on the car in front of you is somewhere between, like, the rear half of their car. Because that makes transitions, it's just a little press on the brakes, and then you can transition. So somewhere like right here. See, I can brake just a tiny bit, transition, and then boom, right back to where I was. This makes it so if there's anyone behind me, they could just predict our transitions, and I'm not coming to like a complete stop in order to transition because I'm like riding up too far on his car. How I'm like kind of on his front fender. Here, we'll do a transition on the next lap, and I'll stay front fender. All right, so I'm positioned way too far up on his car, so when it comes to a transition like this, it's impossible. Now imagine doing that with like 10 other people behind you. You're just not going to be able to transition. I should be tandeming with the rear half of his car, but here comes a transition. That's kind of the only way to make it work, but if there's anyone following me right there, they would have gotten like obliterated by whoever's behind him, and then it just dominoes. So as you can see in this train, when it comes to tandems, like look how I'm positioned, but it doesn't matter because the people in front of me are not leaving enough space for transition, so they're not really tandeming with the rear half of people's cars or predicting, and it's a domino effect, just like that. Following people that are drifting that way, it's just not easy and not really that fun. So Anthony's riding his front fender, you can see that. I'm kind of at a normal position, but right here there's a transition, so it's going to mess everything up. I got to slam on my brakes, and then I'm hitting his rear bumper, and then I just pushed him forward. So now he's riding on his front fender again. There's a transition coming up here. He's on his brakes because he was way too far up, and I hit him again. Essentially every single transition I'm going to be hitting Ant because he's driving that way. Yep, hit him again. He's way too front fender. I'm in a normal position, transition coming, I hit him again. So this is where you want to sit. You want to sit kind of on the rear half of their car, kind of tandeming with like the rear quarter panel or their rear tire. All right, this time I'm like right on him, transition, good. When it comes to tandems, you want to transition at the exact same time as the person in front of you, or like as close as you possibly can. You don't want to transition like 5 seconds later. You don't want to transition before he does, because then you're just going to be stomping on your e-brake to like scoot yourself backward. I'll kind of talk over some transitions as we're doing this little figure 8 line and give you guys some examples. Alright, we'll do a transition here, so I could kind of predict when he's transitioning and just transition at the exact same time. I know that there's a little bit of space between, but it's a little bit of space between us is much better than just me being right on him and having to slam on my brakes. And then we'll transition at the same time again. And then we'll do it again on this next corner. Same time. Now here I'll give an example of what transitioning too early looks like. So you just go ahead and transition normally and I'll transition before you. So I transitioned before him, stomping on my e-brake and my clutch to come back. Alright, so I'm positioned good on him, transitioned before. Now I'm like way too far front, gotta stomp on my e-brake, and then now I'm just gonna get left behind. Okay, so now I'm gonna provide an example on like transitioning too late. So now I'm gonna transition too late. He's gonna transition way before me, and then now I'm just behind, so I gotta like over angle and somehow figure out how I'm gonna catch back up. And then we'll do the same here. Transitioning too late. Now I gotta catch back up, and now I'm just way behind him. So transitioning at the same like time, like this, keeps you at like the exact same line as the person in front of you, and it just makes everything fluid. Alright, so now Anthony here is going to provide, or he's going to show me what like a snapping transition is. So just him transitioning way too fast, and what it, like how it is for me to follow him. So I'll catch up to him and he's going to just whip it. Like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to predict that he's going to transition like that, you know? Like, you want to keep things as like fluid as possible. Like, his car comes to complete stop. And it is Forza, so obviously it's going to be exaggerated with the desync. Like, on his screen, maybe it looks smooth, but for me, it just looks like he's lagging, to be honest. This run, he's going to show what transitioning too slow looks like. So him just rolling out a transition for like a few seconds. Alright, so I'm following him. I'm like, when the fuck, when is he going to transition? Positioned on his car. And I'm like, okay, that was the
I can't even do
that was the slowest transition I've ever seen. Honestly, whatever your car is like trending towards doing, just do that. Don't fight the car. Don't make it forcefully snap a transition. Don't like try to roll it out for too long. So now we're gonna be doing normal runs. I'll probably just have quite a few lines going, like everything on what you're supposed to do compiled together.